This is the crowd. I'm doing an institute class teaching on the Pearl of Great Price Facsimiles. I'm doing this for YouTube, and it's just the way it is. So.
You have how many on YouTube?
I've got about 200,000.
Okay. Views. How many videos?
About 525.
See, it does go up by about 40 every week. So, anyway, Kerry Shirt, he's a friend of ours. He's a wonderful guy. He studies for fun what most of you and I don't even want to take college classes on. And it's totally true. So, hopefully he'll tell you that. But Kerry has a phenomenal presentation as we pretend that we just finished Moses 7 and 8. And we'll come back to that next week. Because I don't want to eat into his time since he's here. But if you will turn then to the book of Abraham. A couple of pages back. I think most. Okay? And you will come across the facsimiles, and from this point on, listen to them. Do you want them to ask questions during or after? After.
I'm going to fly through
Other
this.
than that, just be dazzled and stay alert, because he throws things
Go to
at
sleep.
you.
It's all on video. You can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm going to, what I do, on the YouTube, I'm called the Backyard Professor. My wife, I always take a book with me. I mean, I've been known to be fishing with one pole in one hand and a book in another. My wife laughed one time and said, "Oh, you're like a backyard professor," and the name stuck, so that's what they call me on the YouTube. And so I'm videoing this for YouTube. Hi, everybody on YouTube. Because of that. What I want to do is clean my screen. The critics of the church study up to 10 hours a day to destroy your testimonies. And it's starting to work somewhat. We're outnumbered. The critics, for some reason, are always ahead of us when it comes to the media. I cannot figure this out. For every single LDS YouTuber, there are 1,000 anti-Mormons. Now, granted, their quality of information is such that it's still 1 and 1, but the point is, they just, somehow they really get to the media. They have a mantra that you will run across on the internet. I promise you, you will get this mantra. Joseph Smith got nothing right on the Pearl of Great Price Facsimiles. Nothing. His score is 0. You Mormons are so dumb, you can't see that he's a false prophet. We have all the Egyptologists on our side. And you guys are just out in left field. There's no hope for you. That's the argument I've decided I'm going to study about and check for myself. Just because it's said 167,347 times a day doesn't make it true. So the issue is, Joseph Smith's score is 0. Hey, I may as well use the chalkboard as well as this thing, huh? So, what I want to do is I want to, hopefully I've got this organized enough. No, that's Charles Larson. I want to give you the strongest arguments against Joseph Smith tonight. I'm going to hit you right between your eyes. When I saw this, I was positively knocked out. This argument is really good. Oh, I brought it. I did. Okay, here we go. These two arguments, if I have time, I'll focus on, boy, you can't see that right on camera. That's what he's got to focus, it's stupid. Hey, no laughing. They call me a backward professor. That's probably more realistic than the backyard professor. The first argument they present is this figure on facsimile number 1, lying supine on this lion couch. Isn't that a cool looking lion couch? I love lion couches. We have hundreds of figures like this now in Egyptian literature. This figure on lion couch cannot be the moral Abraham because it is the pagan Egyptian god of the West, Osiris. And it is Osiris. Make no mistake about it. Egyptologically and in the Egyptian literatures and all of the tombs from the era, from everywhere, this is Osiris. Joseph Smith said it's Abraham being sacrificed. They said, all you have to do is crack it. Yeah, all you have to do is take 2 minutes. Crack open a book on Egyptology and read about it and see how your prophet's a false prophet. They disclose with him that fast. Here's the stronger argument, and I'll get to that one. Here's the stronger argument. This is the one that just rocked me. I was impressed with it. In facsimile number 3, the hieroglyphs in facsimile number 3 for King Pharaoh and Prince Pharaoh read Isis, Mother of the God, and Mot, Lady of the West. Joseph Smith read these incorrectly. These are deities, not mortals. And they're lady deities to boot, not men. And I have the hieroglyph here that I want to show it to you, if I've got it. Yeah, right here. This is the hieroglyph. These are the 2 hieroglyphs above the heads. Mot, the hieroglyph is Mot, Lady of the West, and this one's Isis. The hieroglyph equals the great Isis, Mother of the Gods. Joseph Smith said it's Pharaoh and Prince of Pharaoh. Now that's a pretty good argument. I got news for you. That's good. I like it, but that's the only one that really spooked me. All the others have been relatively so easy to come across. This one's a tougher one. Here's the issue with Joseph Smith's translations. He didn't identify that specific figure as Osiris. He didn't identify that specific figure as Isis in his interpretations. That one's not Mot. This one's not some. He identified them as principles. The critics will make us think that we have to have an exact line-for-line, literal word-for-word translation. Otherwise, Joseph Smith is false. Who here knows foreign language? Do you translate back and forth into foreign language? Is there really, honestly, only allowed a word-for-word literal translation in order for you to claim you've translated? No. I don't see any yeses. That's true. I study Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic. I'm studying biblical languages. I've studied the hieroglyphics a little bit, not a whole lot. There's other LDS scholars that are far better at it than I am. What Joseph Smith did here, and I can't give you the sources, I'll just give you the quick answer. I'm going to do the details on the YouTube, on some of my other videos. Mot is the Egyptian concept of, now she's identified and she's drawn with a feather, actually a Mot feather right there. This is the feather. It's an ostrich feather. I don't know if you can see that. I'll move it up. It's an ostrich feather. Whenever you see someone with that, that's Mot. There's no question. That is Mot. And Isis, of course, always has the Hathor cow horns with the sun disk on her head. That's obviously Isis. If you study Egyptian, it's a piece of cake to find out. Mot is the concept of harmony, order, equilibrium, justice, equity, fairness. It's a cosmological concept. The Egyptologists say Mot has to be identified with Pharaoh. Pharaoh has to wear Mot, or he can't rule righteously. Now, in our book Abraham, in the first chapter, it says Pharaoh was a righteous ruler. He was really trying to do everything correct. He was just following the wrong line. He was imitating the order of the fathers, because in Egypt, it was a matriarchal order, according to what Brother Nibley said. So, Joseph Smith said, this is Pharaoh. The hieroglyph says it's Mot. The critics want you to think that in order to be correct, we have to have exactitude. Joseph Smith says, this figure equals this. When in reality, this figure is this, as an abstract. To the ancient Egyptians, they said this figure not only can be this and this figure can be this This figure can be this figure can be this figure can be this figure can be this. This figure could be fire and water. Completely contradictory.